So it turns out on our last day, our ride home, we recorded very little videos or pictures from our phone, but I have a fair amount of GoPro footage. So what I've done is kind of put that together and decided that I would just narrate a little bit over top of it on our ride home. And the first thing I'll have you see is it was rainy. We'd had nothing but sun for like weeks and weeks, but now we had rain, and it can be tricky. This driveway you see me on right here, it was a slant, it was a real angle, and the car parked behind us. When you're turning a big bike around and it's wet and you're on an angle and you're trying to control the weight, it can be a little tricky to do this kind of stuff. So you see me kind of fighting away a little bit here with it. Yeah, that gives you a sense, and then you get weird little things thrown in. Like I think at any moment now, if you take a look at my phone, you will see suddenly it's not happy. What liquid detected in my USB-C converter? Yikes! So I had to unplug that right away. Doink. There we go. And then Sue had to pull out, so I was just hanging out, letting her do her thing, and here she comes. So here we are pulling out of Port Perry, and Port Perry was just this fascinating place. So I wanted to take you on the ride a little bit here. So you get a sense that it's a drizzly day, wet, drizzly day. We knew Loki would not make it easy for us. We knew that last day would probably be something we would have to earn. We didn't quite know how much. But off we went. Good night's sleep. And yeah, a beautiful Airbnb, and this just really interesting town. And one of the things that makes it interesting, notice right here, these trains. It's like you're in a train set. When we looked at the Airbnb, it said there will be train noise at night. You can't avoid it. There's train noise everywhere in this town. And when you're in the town, you realize that there's no place like Parry Sound. No place like it. Everywhere you go, look at these trellises. Everywhere you go, there are trains with you, over you, beside you, underneath you. It's like everywhere you go, there are trains, which is fascinating. And the other thing, the town was so clean. And it was the one town in all of Canada where we saw no fentanyl issues. We just didn't see it, and we saw it everywhere else. We talked to our Airbnb people about that, and they said, yeah, there was a little bit of problem. Oh, by the way, that's Don Cherry's on the left. We ate there. And here's another train, another trellis where you're going under. They said, yeah, we had a little bit of a problem, but then we immediately found those with a problem and helped them. And it almost has this Stepford kind of feel. It seems like a little happy, positive place. Yeah, so then we get back onto the highway, and now you see major rain coming down, and it was only the beginning of it, only a taste of what was to come, really. But a real soggy ride, and that's fine. We've done this before. It doesn't intimidate us too much. But now look at my phone on the left there, and what you see is a satellite. And if you see that little blue dot, that's us. And we're right at what I'll call the tail of the dragon, biting the tail of the dragon. Right in front of us to the east and north is this really nasty thunderstorm. And you don't want to be into that. And we're right at the very tip of it. And you see cars are going by. This is what it's like to ride in the rain. You can't go as fast as the rest of the vehicles. You see we're going around 97, 98. And they'll pass you everywhere you go, and it's really difficult. So at any rate, we pulled over for a while. We let that big storm go, and then we came back out. I'm not exactly sure where we are right here, but a nice little, give you a sense of a nice little area there, with a lot of boats and stuff around, and yeah, just kind of cool. And it was nice that the rain, had started to pull off. Because it had been we were soaked when we pulled over, but we stopped for a while. We let all those thunderstorms go away. By the way, Toronto was flooded that day. There were floods all through Toronto. It was a major day. We somehow managed not to get in the worst of it. Right on the edge of the worst of it, but never the worst of it. And then we ended up in this weird thing. Somehow our GPS brought us to Barrie, and we have no idea why. We did not want to go to Barrie. We wanted to go past Barrie, but it had been so stressful in the morning with all the rain getting through. We just wanted to follow our GPS's home. And where did our GPS take us? Well, first into all of this sort of subdivision part of Barrie, and then right into the city itself. You know, it took us right into downtown Barrie. Now, I like downtown Barrie, and you can see, look, blue skies up above, you know, sunny. You can still see we're wet. You can see the cameras are wet a little bit, and the streets are wet. But, you know, the worst of that has clearly blown over, which is amazing. It was one of the wettest days I think we had on the whole ride. But yeah, I mean, Barrie's beautiful. We like it. It's an interesting town. But of course it's slow, and it was taking us forever. And even once we got out of the city proper, you know, even then it took us a while to go through all these, I call it not suburbs, but just, you know, the outskirts of the urban part of Barrie, and even that took us forever to kind of get out of. It always makes me worried when, by the way, vehicles do it. That one just did kind of came in close to Sue's. And so anyway, eventually we got out of Barrie. We got back on the sort of highway proper, and we were heading back towards Toronto. And again, it's such a feeling. I can't really explain what it's like when you've been homeless, essentially, for so long. You've been in unfamiliar territory, and you know you're coming home. And it's an amazing, you know, this how we love the familiar and how we love the novel. But now here's the familiar. So finally, after all this riding, we're coming into downtown Newmarket. So Newmarket is on our normal ride. So sometimes we take a ride sort of north and east to Uxbridge and that sort of area. Other times we go north and west, and when we go north and west, it's usually here to Newmarket. Newmarket has this kind of neat little downtown area here that we're sort of coming into. We will be coming into it more and in a little bit here. It's got a lot of interesting restaurants. It's got like cafes with espresso. Up to the right here, you see the Burning Goat, I think, or the Grey Goat pub, which has some live music to the right, where we just went by. And now we're coming into the more downtown proper of Newmarket. And when you're riding after you've been elsewhere, you know, you've been through the rest of Canada, and then you're coming down this road that you've ridden down probably 10, 20 times. And so you just know it. It's familiar, and it's sunny. It's nice. You came out of the rain, and I have to say we were really feeling like, wow, you know, we're not home, but we're home in the sense that we're back to the area that we know. And so we just pulled in here. We decided that we were having some lunch here as our sort of final stop. I don't know how far this is from our home. Maybe an hour, something like that. Like on a typical weekend, we would ride to a place like here. So maybe an hour ride here, and then we'll have dinner, and then we'd have an hour ride back. So, you know, that sort of area. So close to home, enough to kind of taste it. I think by now it was about 2 p.m. after, again, a morning of nasty rain riding. And here we are coming home. I don't know why it's so fast. I tried to get this to work the whole time, but it kind of fits because, woohoo, we're coming home, and there we are, home. So happens dramatically. High fives, everything really exciting, but very, very cool. And it kind of fits our mood, I think.
Alrighty, there's our noble steeds. They got us back to our place. Yeah, fantastic. We are home. There's our car with
10,290 kilometers since we left here.
10,290. What'd you say? 6 weeks and 6 days?
6 weeks and 6 days.
Six. No. Well, just 6. That's cool. We're so happy to be home. So nice. And we made it. So this might not be the last video. We might do a reflection video or something like that. But But
Although
cool.
today was just about getting home.
It mostly was. There's not a lot to tell. Well, there is, actually. It was a bit of a trials and tribulations along the way. But we're home, and we're happy about it.
Happy.
Back in there. Nice.
77,940 kilometers on my bike.
77,940 since 2010.
Yep.
Yeah, so the bikes are back home in their nice dry spot.
Yeah.
There you go, bikes. Thank you for getting us across Canada and across America.
Oh,
We appreciate
boy,
it.
Ross, we don't want you in here.
Phew.